Hello, and welcome to part 2 of the Clan Generator Challenge. This time for Rock Clan's neighbor, Cedarclan. I just want to say before I get into it, thank you guys so much for all of the love on Rock Clan's video. Honestly, I thought it was gonna kind of just get swept under the rug and maybe 100 views, but at the time of looking at this, 700. It's just very nice, and I really appreciate the love and support, and it really made me want to make a couple more of these videos just because the reception was so good. So let's get let's get right into Cedarclan. Cedarclan is known as the meddlesome and the reserved, and here is a little bit about them. If a cat were coming into clan territory, a Cedarclan patrol might be the first they come across. These cats often cross over their borders, especially those not connected with the other clans, and go out on fun expeditions. Despite having a strong connection to the other clans and to Cedarclan, they often go without such distractions. This makes it easier for them to cross paths with non-believers or those of different religions. Though they share history with the other three clans, they don't have as much to say about their long past. Many cats do not live long enough to pass down stories more than a few generations, and they don't put too much stock into their ancestors that they aren't easy to remember. Outside of their historical blandness, this clan doesn't have much to say about their skills or difficulties. They deal with foxes or coyotes on their territory, or large birds attacking their camps, same as the rest of the clans. Cedarclan lives in thick forests full of thin streams and tall trees. They were named after the large cedar that lies at the heart of their camp, providing much needed shade for the cats and roots for songbirds. Roosts. My bad. Their dens are in thick bushes lined with feathers from their hunts and flowers for fragrance. I can never say that word correctly. Most cats go out during the day, using the shady shelter from the trees as protection, and other times nighttime patrols go out. These cats are trained to hunt along forest floors, scent through all types of weather, and sometimes climb trees. Young cats and older cats typically avoid the difficult to traverse areas and aren't really seen climbing trees. Most older warriors pick up on some different types of fishing because they have a lot of streams that are quite populated, but it's only a hunting technique that is passed among warriors and is not something that is taught to apprentices. Unlike most stories from the clan, battle strategies from the beginning of the clan are still passed through many years later. Under Vervain Star's leadership, the clan is small but connected. The cats are close to each other, and decisions are made with each other, though the leader gets the final word. Many of the warriors get to add their input into politics, while queens can return to their duties at any time. At gatherings, the clan is regarded positively, but never seen as either a threat or a clan of particular interest. They are perfectly average and pleasant and don't stir up trouble. They are honestly very fun because they're the surprising clan. If they do something that is too extreme, it catches everyone off guard. So, a few distinct places along their territory is the Sun Cedar, a large, beautiful cedar tree that sits in the center of camp and provides shade, leaves, and bird feathers for the clan. There are plenty of songbirds that will roost up in the tree, and they don't hunt those because it's kind of just a sign of respect. I'll explain a little bit of that in a minute. The Blossoming Stretch is a field at the edge of their territory where there are so many flowers growing and herbs for the clan, that they often will pick so much that their stores are overflowed, and they will bring them to gatherings for basically free picking for the other clans. So they might show up with a whole bunch of catnip and be like, hey, anyone else need this? Because we're pretty good. And then they have the morning streams. It is a small set of streams that wrap around a burial ground for the clan. It is often where cats hold their morning ceremonies. They don't, so traditionally in the Warriors books, they hold vigils for dead cats in the middle of camp, but because the middle of camp has this giant tree in it, and it's this very respectful place that is it talks a lot about life. The camp is very joyful in that regard. They tend to remove the dead and put them into a burial ground, and will often wash themselves in the streams and then bury their dead and then wash themselves again. It's so that they can leave the dead out of their camp while also respecting those who have passed away. Their prey is nothing that interesting. It's pretty much the same. Birds, ducks, rodents, some like lizards, beetles, snakes, squirrels, small fish, rabbits and hares. Nothing too interesting. Just kind of whatever's in the territory. Though they will sometimes, if they catch like an owl or a hawk that's attacking their camp, they will eat that too. A few little rules that they have is 1, cats should avoid the streams during New Leaf. That's usually when the streams or rivers will swell and grow in maybe a few inches, a foot. Usually New Leaf is when all of the flooding happens, so they tend to steer clear of the streams just in case anyone could get swept up and drowned, even though their streams aren't that big. It's safety precaution always. Their second rule is that the birds that nest or lie among the Suncedar are not to be hunted, and the tree should not be climbed or clawed unless by the leader. And even then, the leaders don't hold meetings there. It is a sign of respect to keep the tree protected, and they will clear out nests of the birds that fall down, but they won't go up there and attack the birds, which is why so many birds tend to roost, because they're close to the predators, but they aren't getting killed. So it's kind of a safe point. They will gather up feathers that have fallen, and they will a few times take baby birds and put them back up into their nest if that baby bird survived the fall. So like these birds are very respectful to them, and usually these feathers go towards the nests of the elders and the queens and kits, and apprentices will wear feathers during their warrior ceremony, and feathers are very important to them, particularly those that come from the birds that live in the sun tree. And 3, if a cat's going out alone at night, can't go alone. Feels like a pretty generic rule. Feels like everyone should kind of follow that, buddy system and all. So now, almost 10 minutes in, let's get into the clan itself. So there are 13 cats shown on the list, but there are 2 kits that one for each queen. This is very small in compared to Rock Clan, who was pretty much in its 20s, so should be a little bit shorter, but honestly, I could probably talk for just as long. Their leader is Vervain Star. He is a pretty good leader. Hold on a second while I pull up the official descriptions of these guys, because I didn't have that prepared. Okay, so Vervain Star's warrior name was Vervain Petal, and he was described as a short-haired blue tom with green eyes. I have made him a short-furred bluish-gray tom with scars and green eyes. He's got 6 lives left if anyone's interested. My little paragraph for him is that Vervain Star is a heterotom that is a decent cat with lots of hope for the future. He was born into a lack of chaos and difficulty in his clan and never forgets it. His youthful life was full of fun, exploring, and playing with his mate Milk Whisker, who is no longer in the clan. Those two were fated lovers that everyone knew from apprentices were going to be mates forever. Kind of a high school sweetheart situation. But a few bad winters left him alone with his kits to raise. They had 2 kits together of Smokeleaf and Merkstripe. However, adopted Holly Whisker out of kindness and because Milk Whisker was the only nursing queen at the time. Vervain Star is basically, of all the leaders, the one nobody worries about. He's unlike Rock Clan, not making any enemies, or unlike Ivy Clan, not being passive aggressive all the time. So he's just a good guy and isn't picking trouble with anyone and loves his kits and his clan very dearly and has a very fun, cute design. His deputy is his adopted daughter, Holly Whisker. She is described as a mostly white, black, and red classic calico she-cat with short fur and blue eyes. I said she is a thin, short-furred white she-cat with black and red patches and blue eyes. Holly Whisker is, like I said, adopted daughter of Vervain Star and Milk Whisker, and her siblings are Smokeleaf and Merkstripe. She is a lesbian she-cat that often denies her own disconnection with the outsiders. She was once the daughter of a rogue mother that dropped her off with a wandering patrol of Cedarclan cats when they crossed paths. Though the clan was more than willing to raise her as their own, she protested until she was 9 moons old and ready to become an apprentice. Her time was well spent afterwards. Vervain Star wanted to show her that he cared, especially after Milk Whisker had passed away, so he made her his deputy, and the two have had a good relationship. She's never met her real mother afterwards, so she doesn't know where that rogue is, but she doesn't really need that anymore. She very much thinks of Milk Whisker as her mother and mourns her as such, and Smokeleaf and Merkstripe are very much her lovely sisters, so she doesn't think much about it anymore. Speaking of Smokeleaf, love this design. It's very pretty. Smokeleaf is a long-haired blue and cream mackerel tortoiseshell she-cat with hazel eyes. I said she's a fluffy, long-furred, dark bluish gray she cat with cream tabby patches and hazel eyes. She is our medicine cat. You know, daughter of Vervain Star and Milk Whisker, Holly Whisker, and Murkster for her sisters. Motorcycle for no reason. Smokeleaf is a Banshee cat that spends more than enough time alone. Her connection with the rest of the clan is a bit off-putting, as she can be blunt and annoying to others, but she does make up for it with her herbalism. She is one of the best cats at medicine, which is helped by the many flowers they have on their territory. However, Smokeleaf is afraid of her conversations with Cedarclan and tends to avoid them. Because this clan isn't super connected with Cedarclan or their ancestors, she can get away with not sharing dreams or prophecies, and she kind of is a bit of an insomniac of just she has a difficulty sleeping because whenever she does, she tends to get Cedarclan dreams that are unsettling to her, and she relies plenty on her sisters to help, you know, be more important or help with dreams. Our first warrior is Sagestorm, a short-haired caramel miracle tabby she-cat with gold eyes. I just said a beautiful short-furred gingerish brown tabby she-cat with gold eyes. Sagestorm is the daughter of Briartail and Birdthorn. She has 3 other siblings, 2 from the same litter and 1 of the new kits. Her siblings are Dwight and Railthroat, 2 brothers, and a younger sibling in Mousekit. Sagestorm is a hetero she-cat that deeply misses her father, Birdthorn. She was very close with him when they were younger and trained under him as her mentor. The two were an unstoppable duo, and his death caused her to fall into a funk that made her miss out on her attempt of becoming deputy. Her chance to be deputy was snatched up by Holly Whisker, a decision she's not mad at. Sagestorm is going through a mild depression at the moment. She's unsure of if she can, if she's going to be one of, the warriors to have an apprentice soon, given that the only cats left to train apprentices are her and her brothers. And she is a little bit jealous of Holly Whisker for being deputy, but is also understanding in that she's not in the best headspace, so trying to weasel her way in there wouldn't exactly be smart of her. Her brother, Dwight Stone, is a short-haired chocolate mackerel tabby tom with yellow eyes. I said a muscular, short-furred brown tabby tom with yellow eyes. Again, son of Briartail and Birdthorn. He is a hetero tom that is serious and doesn't like to waste time. Even though he stumbled a bit after his father's death, he remained as a pillar of the clan and a powerful supporter of Vervain Star. He spends a lot of his time out of camp by himself or with his brother Railthroat. His relationship with his brother is the closest of any cat, and he often relies on the other warrior for help. He has a bit of a difficulty socializing, and that's why he spends a lot of time with Railthroat, who is the exact opposite. And though he might not be super ready for an apprentice, he is Vervain Star's first choice to take over training, either Mousekit or Mudkit, the current kits of the clan. Next is the one of the best warriors of the clan, Waxstream. He's described as a red-ticked pseudo-tabby tom with short fur and hazel eyes. I said that he is a large, long-furred, red tabby tom with hazel eyes. I love the pose he has in this drawing. He looks ready to go, and like he is running away from his apprentice, Nightpot, who I will talk about in a couple minutes. Waxstream doesn't have any family in the clan at the moment, but he's kind of having a will they, won't they relationship with Murkstripe, who he's interested in her, but she's kind of like not into it completely yet, so he is waiting on her. Waxstream is a heterotom that is a much older warrior than the rest and excels at hunting. His sessions of training with the other warriors in the way of hunting and fishing are what keep the warriors well fed and excited. He spices up the days of the older warriors and always promises to share secrets with the apprentices and kids coming. One of his goals is to leave the clans better than he used them. In regards to his apprentice Nightpaw, he says that he'll teach her how to fish when she earns her warrior name, because that's kind of his deal. He's taught all of the warriors, as like the younger warriors, how to fish, and this is something, you know, that he learned when he was their age from an older warrior, and he kind of just keeps passing this information down and is really excited to teach Nightpaw, you know, if she would just stop trying to sneak out and learn it early. Next is Murkstripe. She's described as a long-haired blue and cream tick tortoiseshell she-cat with copper eyes. I said a beautiful long-furred bluish-gray she-cat with cream tabby patches and copper eyes. Murkstripe is, as I said, Vervain, Star, and Milkwhiskers her parents. Hollywhisker and Smokeleaf are her sisters. She is a hetero she-cat that tries her best to study the stars and the history of Cedarclan. She is not super interested in anything else that the clans have to do, like hunting or fighting, and she thinks of herself as a bit of a historian. Her favorite thing is helping her sister, Smokeleaf, in the medicine cat den with omens or visions. However, she much rather pursue a relationship with Waxstream than learn herbs. Murkstripe is... she can kind of read the stars to see omens, and she knows a lot of the history, and it kind of frustrates her apprentice Spiderpaw because he wants to get out there and, you know, be an apprentice, and she wants to spend hours upon hours telling him the history and just telling him all these fascinating things. In a clan that doesn't really care for their history that much, Murkstripe is a bit different, but she often gets listened to by Vervain Star and by Hollywhisker and Smokeleaf, which makes the three most powerful cats in the clan all open to her suggestions and her conversations. So while she's a bit different than the other cats in the clan, she is taken well. They don't shun her or look down upon her. They're just not as excited by the same things as she is, and Smokeleaf in particular is super hoping that Murkstripe will eventually just let go of being a warrior, which she hardly does any responsibilities, and would just join her in the medicine den so that, you know, some of these omens and visions could be well sorted out. Finally, the last warrior is Railthroat, a long-haired cinnamon tom with yellow eyes. I said a thin, long-furred brown tom with yellow eyes. He is the last warrior-aged child of Briartail and Birdthorn, and honestly, very, very fun. Rothra is an ace tom that is a social, noisy, and excellent hunter. He is a super good addition to this clan. Of all of his clanmates, he's the first to want to greet others and is cheerful no matter the time of day. He can't wait to train either Mousekit or Mudkit when they become apprentices, and is surprisingly very patient with others, like his brother Dwight. His outward affection for others has him as the glue of the clan. His positivity is really, really, like, addictive to others, and it's hard to go on, like, a dawn patrol with him because he will cheer everyone up. He settles disputes and fights, and is kind of part of the reason that Murkstripe isn't totally looked so down upon, because Rothro also will peek over her shoulder at the, maps she's drawing into the dirt and be like, hey, that looks pretty cool, let's talk about that very loudly. Which is kind of why his name is Railthroat, Rail being a bird and, very noisy, like a songbird. He is very fun in that regard, and though it's not in his description that I wrote, I kind of gave him a short little tail because it looks cute, and because I think that he would be the type who might have accidentally got himself messed up, but isn't, frowning about it. He's seems too positive for that. So our two apprentices are Nightpot and Spiderpaw. Starting with Nightpot, she is described as a black she-cat with short fur and yellow eyes. I said a muscular short-furred black she-cat with yellow eyes. Super simple design, not much about it. Nightpot is a hetero she-cat that knows exactly what to say to get Waxstream to leave her alone and always teases her brother. She's the life of the apprentice den, and even though she's young, she looks a lot older. Her favorite thing to do is to sneak after the older warriors like Waxstream or Murkstripe to learn how to hunt, particularly learning how to fish. Though she's prone to getting in trouble or caught, she still sneaks about. She really wants to learn how to fish, and because Waxstream won't tell her until she's older, she's taken to sneaking about to get that information, which is fun and charming for the first maybe 3 or 4 times, but it's kind of getting her into farm too much trouble, and she might still be in the apprentice den for many, many seasons to come if she keeps getting delayed. She's pretty young though, like maybe only 7 or 8 moons old, so she still has plenty of time before she becomes a warrior. Her brother Spiderpaw is very similar design, a long black-furred tom with green eyes. I just said a thin, long-furred black tom with green eyes. Super simple. Oh, forgot to mention, their parents are Sitstone and Muddy Gaze, and Mudkit is their younger sibling. Just these two, they don't have any older siblings. Spiderpaw is a heterotom that is stressed out constantly. Having Murkstripe as a mentor makes him unsure of what to do as a warrior, especially because she doesn't do a lot of warrior duties unless Waxstream kind of ropes her into it with Nightpot. He's not uninterested in the clan's history, or even StarClan, but wishes that his mentor would spend more time on practical skills like hunting or fighting. His kindness, though, means that he never opens his mouth and just lets his mentor do as she pleases. More often than not, some of the older warriors that he goes out with, like Sagestorm or Dwight Stone, often end up teaching him skills that, you know, maybe Murkstripe should have. He too is kind of looking forward to learning how to fish, but also mostly just looking forward to the fact that once he becomes a warrior, he can get training from Waxstream and maybe fix some of his messed up skills. Thankfully, Waxstream is more than willing to make up for lost ground with Spiderpaw, and would absolutely love to train him once Spiderpaw earns his warrior name. That is many moons out though, so not exactly in a hurry. But Spiderpaw doesn't have the heart to tell Murkstripe that he wants to go out there and learn how to fight and hunt. Of our queens, we have Briartail. She is described as a, I don't know how to say it properly, top she-cat with short fur and copper eyes. I changed her design to a plump, short-furred, creamish-brown she-cat with copper eyes. Birdtail is the mother of Sagestorm, Whiterock, Railthroat, and Mousekit, and her mate was Birdthorn. Briartail is a bi she-cat that is an emotional wreck. After the loss of her mate Birdthorn, she's had a difficult time raising his kit afterwards. She gets a lot of support from the other queen in the nursery, Sitstone, who is going through a similar situation. Her affection towards her kits is what keeps her going, and she relies super heavily on the structure of the clan that allows her to take her time. Because queens can go back to their duties at any time, before, their kits are 6 moons old, this leaves Briartail plenty of time to take it easy. No one is expecting her to hop back into her duties, and she gets a lot of reliance from Railthroat, who is basically like her biggest cheerleader, and probably the only one who isn't totally broken up about his father's death, because he's mourned and then left it behind. Her kit is Mousekit, named after being particularly small. Sitstone is her friend in the nursery. Sitstone is a long-haired black she-cat with amber eyes. I just said a thin, long-furred black she-cat with amber eyes. She is the mother of Nightpot, Spiderpaw, and Mudkit, and her mate was Muddygaze. Sitstone is a pan she-cat that is calm, collected, and powerful. She also lost her mate, Muddygaze, and is left with one kit after his passing. However, she is a lot more understanding of the life they live and knows that it's not Cedarclan's punishment, but a normal occurrence for the clans. Her time is well spent taking care of Mudkit and Briartail's kit, Mousekit, while the other queen relaxes. They have a little bit of a relationship going on that's more than just being helpful to each other, and Sitstone likes her kits that are apprentices now, Nightpaw and Spiderpaw, but is spending a lot more time taking care of the Mudkit and Mousekit, that she feels like she's often neglecting Spiderpaw's difficulties and anxiety, and Nightpaw's sneaking out behaviors. And she feels in some part that their issues might be her fault, and that Nightpaw in particular might be lashing out because, her father has passed, and that Sitstone is in the nursery taking care of the kits and not paying attention to them. Something for them to deal with, I guess. Finally, the last cat is their elder, Funnelheart. She is described as a short-haired white she-cat with a cinnamon and red spotted calico tail and ears and hazel eyes. I described her as an aged, short-furred white she-cat with gingerish brown and red tail, ears, and hazel eyes. She has a mate in Dove Rose, who has long since passed, and had 4 kits of Rainsong, Red Branch, Flower Blaze, and Spotted Throat, all of which who are no longer around. Funnelheart is an ace she-cat that is very cool. She's much older than the cats in the clan, and used to actually be from another clan. I'm not sure which one, but I'm thinking maybe Ivy Clan. During her pregnancy, she fought off a fox to give birth, and later killed an owl coming for kits in the camp. Her strength and skills have faded over the years as she's aged up, but she's still willing to sink her claws into any enemy that crosses her path, and her pose, I think, really shows that off. I struggled with it a little bit, but I wanted to give her something fun, something energetic, something to still show that, yeah, she's old, but she will beat anyone paws tied behind her back. Funnelheart is an old lady that is just awesome and has lived a really long and fulfilling life, and now in Cedarclan is just, their protector, and honestly has so much respect given to her, and it's very mutual. She loves her clan, and she loves all these little rascals, and is always there to give advice to anyone who needs it. And in particular, she helped Holly Whisker kind of get over that fear of, becoming an apprentice and, being a clan cat. So yeah, Funnelheart, amazing. Love her so much. As I did last time, I'm going to do just a quick little speed paint for the kits, Mousekit and Mudkit. These two don't really have any set designs, but we have Mousekit on the left, who has a little bit of like a gingerish brown design, kind of around the same colors as Sagestorm did, but in the pattern of his mother, and with her same eye color. Sorry. And Mudkit has a gray color point to look like his father, Muddy Gaze, with Sitstone's eye color. These two are very cute. They're a couple moons old, like maybe 3 or 4, so they'll soon be joining Nightpot and Spiderpaw in the nursery, or not in the nursery, in the Princess Den, and those who will be training them, the mentors, is probably going to be Dwight Rock and Railthroat, just because those two are the most prepared and honestly the best options. These two don't really have much in the way of personality, but Mousekit is just kind of quiet, and, as his name suggests, mousy, and Mudkit is a lot more curious and energetic, and probably get the two of them into quite some trouble. And that is about it. I don't know when I'll be getting into Marsh Clan, which is the next one that I want to talk about, but their clan I am so ready for. I know so many people in the Warriors community have talked about what about Nepotism Clan, and is Marsh Clan just nepotism central? I mean, talk about these genetics are really bad. There's 2 families in that clan, and one of them is all old people. No joke. So, can't wait to get into them, but I probably will take a little bit before I do that. For anyone curious, my new tablet is coming, so I should be able to speed up the process in between these videos. And yeah, thanks for watching. Super appreciate it. I will hopefully see you guys next time. Bye bye.